Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be taking a look at this Tozinova G5 retro game console. So this console is currently for sale on Amazon.com and it costs $20 US exactly. I purchased mine from Temu many months ago, just because it was like, I think $9. I like buying crap on Temu because it's really, I guess, a gamble what you're gonna get when you buy stuff on Temu. So I got this one for cheap. I thought I'd play around with it, and I haven't yet. It's been a number of months since I've had it sitting here, but I thought it would be cool to open it up on camera, take a look at it, and tell you if it's good or if it's really terrible. Now there's other videos about this thing as well, and I haven't watched any of them. I haven't read any reviews. I just saw that it was $9. I bought it, and then I went to Temu today to see if the price was the same, and it's discontinued, but I did find it on Amazon, and it's $20. So maybe that's a good deal. Probably it's not, but let's find out together. So first things first, let's open this box up and see what we get inside. And again, this box was squished a little bit in transit, as most things from Temu are, but probably it's okay. So when we pull open the tab here, we're greeted with some instructions in Chinese. Oh, we've got English here in the middle. Battery usage: don't touch the battery directly when the battery is charged. Do not put the battery into fire or the heat. Okay. Manufacturer does not bear any responsibility for the leakage or corrosion of batteries caused by human beings. Okay, well, I guess if my dog gets a hold of this and chews a hole in it and it leaks, then they do bear responsibility for that. Anyway, so let's see what else we got. So we've got our AV cables here. So it looks like it's got the 1/8" mini to the RCA jacks. So I think we can hook this up to a TV. And we have a USB Type A to USB micro adapter here. And then we've got the device itself. Now what's interesting is, I'm pretty sure I ordered the green one, but I've got the pink one here. But that's not really a problem. I mean, it's an interesting design on it. So I don't know if you can see this on camera, but the color splash here is actually raised, as if they were just flicking paint on it. But the pattern matches the box exactly, so I don't know how they did that. It's quite interesting. Yeah, it's definitely raised. You can feel the texture of it, but it matches what's on the box exactly. So that's them not just flicking paint at it. All right, we've got a little protector on the screen. Let's take that off. And then we've got a battery. Pull that out, and that, I guess, should allow us to turn it on. So there's a switch up here. Is there a volume control? There it is. It's on the side over here. So right away I'm seeing, I don't know if you see it, but when I change the volume, I think, the screen flickers. I think the battery's drawing so much power to push the speaker, it's making the screen backlight flicker. All right, so on initial boot, there we go. We've got two choices here, Chinese or English. I'm gonna go with English. I don't know which button we hit. They're labeled here, B, A, X, Y, R. Select start. There's A. Start? Start it is. All right, so this is the dreaded 501 screen that I think all these devices have. And here are all the stolen ROMs they've put on it. So let's see if we can play some Jackal. Let me zoom in a little bit on this. All right, Jackal's a great game. And this was a game for the original NES. Let's see if I can play it on the camera here. So all the crisscross artifacts that you're seeing aren't on the actual screen itself. Alright, so this is a Nintendo game, but we're using the Y button to shoot the machine gun, and the B button to throw the grenades, and also A. So their key mapping is just these two here are what would be B on an NES controller, and these are both what would be A. Alright. I mean, I don't see any like tearing or anything. This isn't a very complex game, so I guess I wouldn't expect it to necessarily be a difficult game to emulate. I'm also just, playing it here while it's lying on its back, not holding it. So my initial thoughts are the tactile feel of the buttons is not bad. And of course, I'm just playing it while it's lying down. There's this, what appears to be a button in the middle of the, I guess you'd call it a D-pad, but that just pushes all the directions at once. I guess you can hold it down and kind of, without having to click, you can move around. So it's not an actual button on its own. It's just part of the D-pad, and that's a little strange. But all right, let me hold this thing upright, and we'll see how it feels. All right, so holding it in my hand, it is exceptionally light. Like there's almost no weight to this thing. I don't know if that's a plus or a minus. I mean, it's just like there's nothing here. Well, you're certainly not going to get sore arms holding it. I'm going to say, honestly, I don't think I like the way they've emulated these buttons. I wonder if we can change them. I'm guessing not. I think it would take a little bit of getting used to. You really feel like this should be B, not this. So I can't say I like the button layout all that much. All right. So let's see if we can get into any settings here. Is there a way to get back to the main menu? Maybe that's what this does. No, that's just a hard reset. And I don't see any sort of way to get into settings. We do have, on the top, we've got the AV port, the charging port, and the power switch. So no special buttons up there. Power LED on the screen here. I don't see a way to modify any settings. Let me take a look at the instructions. No, not that side. Maintenance, don't disassemble, special precautions, lithium battery, Chinese English. This machine adopts the Genera mold. The appearance retains some buttons and output. In fact, there is no such function. Please know you can also understand our other goods to the dealer. Because of the peculiarity of each game are designed by different companies, so every game in the operation and the key is a clear distinction. Each button function is not fixed, so do not separate game operation instructions. Please, upon receipt of this machine, to try the game because of diversity operation and play more meaning. Okay. So I think that means you can't customize the buttons and they're different for every game. So maybe just the Jackal one was bad. Let's see if we can find a game here that might be a little more hard on the hardware. Let's try Super Mario Brothers 3. Oh, I saw some tearing there. What buttons are what on this one? Yeah, it's the exact same. Saw some tearing. Yeah, there's definitely tearing. When Mario runs, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, on the video, but the whole screen kind of just wobbles and it's pretty terrible. Terrible, get it? Because of the tearing? But I gotta say, the buttons, they feel really good. Maybe I overreacted a bit at first with the button position, because I'm having no trouble here just holding down the run button and able to use the other one. So at least in this game, it seems pretty good. Just taking some getting used to in Jackal. But yeah, this game it's playable, but it's really not. But it's not great. The tearing as you run. But yeah, it's playable. All right. So what else do we know about this device? I don't think there's much else to go over. Mine here has got the back cover kind of coming off, so let's turn it off and take a look and see what's in there. And I think this is just a camcorder battery. Yes, it is. This is the BL5C. This is a pretty standard battery. I think they made tons and tons of these back when camcorders are popular. Digital cameras maybe, and they've been sitting around. Yeah, so probably not camcorders, probably digital cameras. I think that's what I meant. So they found their way into all kinds of devices recently, because there's just a huge stock of them, I think. But that does sit neatly on there. Now this reset button is really clicky. I feel like it's just setting the reset line probably. Hey, there's me. Hello. I feel like it's just setting the reset line on the processor to a ground or whatever, to 5 volts. All right, so I think I'd be remiss if I didn't try plugging it into a TV with this AV jack that they have here. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so when we do that, everything seems to work. It turns the screen off on the device, so now it's just a controller. You can see it's got a 4:3 format on my HD screen here, which is fine because all these games were written in 4:3. I'm not going to go through this list of 500 games and tell you which ones are good, which ones are bad. I'm sure there's duplicates because that's how these things always work. They're in no specific order. Here we are at 370s, but we're in the G's and the F's. And there's an A mixed in there. Let's give Excite Bike a try here. One of my favorites. I have to say, the quality of the picture coming out is pretty terrible. Oh, and this one uses different buttons. So B and Y are the same, and X and A are the same. So that's interesting. Another peculiarity of this system. Yeah, I mean, it's playable. The output graphics look terrible. I mean, I don't think anybody would look at this and say this is a really nice looking emulator output, but it is functional. I'm not sure why you would want to play a handheld on your TV, but it completely works. Yeah, those buttons are different than the other games, different than Jackal. All right, well, I think that's really it for this little handheld. There's not much else it can do, including having saved games. So let me reset it. And we'll pick this horrible, not anti-aliased. Wow, that looks really bad. But if we were to load a game like The Legend of Zelda, if we could find it. Alright, well anyway, the point I was trying to make was that even if Zelda was on here, which, surprising that it's not, any game that has a save game ability like the Zelda cartridges, I don't think there's going to be any way to save those on here. There's no non-volatile RAM that they could write to. There's no battery-backed RAM. That connection is really flaky if you move things around too much. But, I guess... oh, let me go back to Mario Brothers 3. Let's see if there's tearing on the AV output. I presume there's going to be. Graphics look so bad. Oh, yeah, it's even worse on a full screen. So bad I just want to run into a Koopa and not play this game anymore. No, it's, yeah, games that are graphically intensive, like even the fade open slows the system down. You can hear that the sound is slowed down because of that. Yeah, and it just looks really bad. Although, you know what? To be honest, I don't see any tearing. The tearing might just be an effect of the refresh rate of the LCD screen they have in this device, because it's not tearing here. All right. So final thoughts on the Tozinova G5 handheld game console. I don't hate it. It's not great, but I don't hate it. It plays the games it has okay. There's definitely some tearing issues in the more graphically intense games, but I am pretty sure that's because of the really cheap display they used in the device and not the hardware itself. But even when I was doing the AV output, there was some slowdowns with the game. So it's really underpowered even for emulating a Nintendo, an original Nintendo. I mean, it looks cool. I think I would have liked the green one better. I don't hate the pink one, but it's not what I ordered. But that's Temu for you. The sound is fine. It can get really loud, but that makes the screen flicker. It feels really cheaply made. I mean, this thing has like no heft to it. The AV jack is really flaky. So let's list the pros and cons. Pros, it's super light. You can play this thing all day and your arms aren't going to get tired. The D-pad is surprisingly enjoyable to use. Like it feels great. It's very responsive. The tactile feedback it has is wonderful. I didn't think I was going to like the ring, because that's kind of a weird way to have a D-pad, but it works great. I really do like this D-pad. These buttons are fine. Not really a pro. They're just buttons. They work. I don't hate them. It's got a bunch of games on it that they stole and sold to you. And I think the final pro is that it's cheap. It's $20 now, and they're not really cheap at $20, but when I got it for $9, it was cheap. And that's the pros. I think cons, the screen, it looks pretty nice, but it's not a very high refresh rate. It looks much better than the AV output on the TV, but the refresh rate's kind of low, so you do get some tearing on it. There's no way to upload games, to change games, to have save files, to do save states or snapshots of the games, but I guess you probably wouldn't expect that for $9. Once you're in a game, there's no way to get back to the main menu. You're just in the game until you hit this hard reset button, and you get this every time, again, because it's not saving anything. So, it'd be nice if it could save. Feels super cheap. Feels like, it feels so light that I feel like if I drop it, it wouldn't break anyway. Let's find out. Yeah, totally fine. And that bounced off the leg of my chair here, so apparently it's drop resistant, at least onto a chair of a leg and then onto carpet. Otherwise, I think it's your basic emulation machine from China. They all kind of do the same thing. Some are better than others. This one's probably not worth $20 in my opinion. If you can find it for $9, give it to your kid. Throw it in a suitcase and not worry about it. If you're going on a trip and you're worried about someone stealing your electronics and you got one of these for $9, I don't think I would mind if somebody stole it from me. Good entertainment. I don't know how long the battery life is. I've been running it here for a couple of hours, no issues. I'm guessing the battery's pretty long. I think the backlight of the screen's probably going to draw most of the power down, and it's a relatively decent sized lithium-ion cell for a machine of this type. Now, of course, there's no battery status indicator on here, so at any point it's going to run out of battery and turn off and not give you any warning. Not that it matters, because you can't save your game anyway. But overall, I don't hate this thing. I'm going to give it to my kid, and she's going to have a blast with it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next video.
Hi guys! Make sure to like and subscribe and watch more of our videos later. Bye!